Hi, my name is Barbara Lesh, and I came into Fremont area when I was about 3 years old. In 1943, we moved out to the ranch in Irvington, where we were raising chickens. We had Molly the cow and good old alfalfa fields to smell. It was a very free feeling. When I grew up, Dad built a house in 46 in Niles. His dad said, get a piece of land and build you a house, and then you'll be set. So being in the chicken business and doing what we did, he built the house on 3rd Street, and eventually all my aunts and uncles from my mom's side of the family, the Burnses, gathered around my grandma and grandpa. My uncle helped rebuild Pearl Harbor, and when he came back, he bought a house for his folks to live in, and that was just down the street. And then he built his own house when he was married in 1949. My aunt lived next door. We had 16 grandchildren, and Grandma was in the middle, and it was a very family type thing. When we walked down 3rd Street to go to Niles School, I played in the orchestra, played the violin, and I prize my music pin still from Niles School. I worked with my dad from the time I was 10 years old in the chicken business. And my boyfriends would have to wait for me while I was in rubber boots and rubber thing killing chickens in the backyard, and so we could go to a game or whatever we're going to do, which was pretty funny. They didn't come inside because it made them kind of sick, so it was there. The 8th grade was my most prominent teacher, and that was Mr. Shatanian, and he did a great deal for us, preparing us for high school. There was only one high school, and that was Washington High. And it was a wonderful school and very dedicated teachers. I was involved in Junior Statesman and Science Club, won an award in my junior year for my level, went to San Francisco, won another award. Mr. Siebert and Mr. Armstrong, Mr. Lowe's, and all those wonderful teachers. Then so those were kind of highlights. I played in the orchestra. Then I went to San Jose City College, and there I studied for a year, 2 semesters, and then transferred to San Jose State. After one semester, I decided that I would enter the Holy Family community in Mission San Jose. And so I worked with them in social work and with children for 7 years, and also attended the college there. So after that, strange enough, my first job when I left the community was to work for Underwriters Laboratories. When I got there, he says, I have no idea what qualifications you have, but I'm hiring you anyway. By the end of the year, I was the head of the department, so that was fun. Then I had 2 children, Troy and Jonna, and they're both professional people. My son is in marketing, and my daughter is a pharmacist. Mom and Dad, Dad was a very Renaissance man, and after, in the 60s, he changed his job to be real estate. So he gathered up some properties, which now we have the rental business that I run. And Dad passed away in '96. He was a stroke victim for 12 years. And now my mom's in her 90s, and I look out for her, and I run the business. For 10 years, I worked for the city in the art history program. So I went out to the schools and dressed up like whatever culture I was representing, and presented arts to the children. And then I taught ceramics and drawing and painting to adults and children. Then when my mother needed me, then and to take over the business, then I retired from there. I forgot about Hewlett Packard. 10 years I worked for Hewlett Packard in between. And back to Fremont, where I found it very fun to be back in Fremont. We live on an acreage property, the old nursery property, as I mentioned, And so we have space around us, which I like. There's still a few rabbits running around and turkeys and chickens. I work with the youth, and I'm very active in the Corpus Christi parish. I play the violin for the youth ministry group, and also for weddings sometimes, and for the women's club, the Country Club of Washington Township, which was in 1896 started, and part of the California Federation of Women's Clubs. We support students at Ohlone and have scholarships for them, and also in the program for high schoolers, which develops their skills. I took care of my sister's children when she passed away. Both my sisters passed away early, and so I took care of them, so they're kind of like my children too. It's been a pleasure to be able to come back to Fremont, and because of where we live, I still have the atmosphere of the olden days, and yet I have the advantages of the city, which I enjoy and have participated in working. So I'm very happy here and intend to stay here on our homestead. Thank you.